Hi everyone, Mitch from PickDogs.com here with a special time show. This week's going to be a little choppy as far as our show times, so just stay tuned. I'll try and give everybody a heads up as to what time the next day's show will be, or approximately. So tomorrow we'll be at our regular 10 a.m. Eastern time show. Chris will be with me and Rod, and we'll have NHL back in action tomorrow. I'll also be doing a Spread Knowledge show. Before that, everything will be as normal tomorrow, except I won't be home. So we'll have to see what my internet connection looks like, as only the man upstairs can control that one. But Chris is staying at the same place where I'm staying, so he seems to have pretty good Wi-Fi over there. Of course, he doesn't probably stress it out like I do, but so what? So pretty awesome day of games yesterday, right? It's like every way you slice it. We certainly didn't win them all, but we got our fair share of winners. I thought I was on my way to that NBA parlay winner to wrap up the day, and then the Lakers decided to stop playing. Happens. But I did hit that South Carolina kicker on top of it, so I did hit 4 or 5 on that parlay. So it's round robin, and man, would have been nice to hit a 4-teamer. So, what do we got? 20 college basketball games, or 19 college basketball, and 8 NBA?
I think so.
I did a video on every single one of these guys, and I have to thank everyone out there who's been supporting our YouTube channel and watching our videos. We are the #1 sports handicapping YouTube channel out there. Over 1.2 million views in the last 30 days, and for a channel that's 4 months old, people are really hating our guts in this industry right now. And you guys know, I love being the bad guy wrestler, so no problem over here, man. It's like, if people in our industry,
let's say, and loving every minute of it.
If people in our industry hate what we're doing, I'm in the right place, man. I'm doing it just right for me. So I don't know. I think as always, the quality people in the industry and the quality shows, the quality people in the industry, they always appreciate it, even if they're not going to make a run at it. The other people, they're just going to complain and make excuses. They always do. So, I tried, it didn't work. It's like, oh well, not my problem. But
sounds
Chris,
like a you problem.
Any problems out there in Vegas? You winning? You losing? Is it you playing? What's going on?
I've been playing
Tables or.
No, tell you the truth, I normally have just been going to the sports book, because the sports book is something that we don't have up in Canada. We have all the tables, like we have the roulette. I know it's something different, like compared to up there, but we have roulette, we have craps, we have everything. We don't have a sports book, so that's where I've been spending most of my time. But I might do a couple tables today just to say I did.
All right. Well, I'm going to start the show off with one of the spread knowledge picks. I'm going to mix the spread knowledge picks in with the regular show, because I only got about 15 minutes here. I got a plane to catch. In case you guys didn't know, it is 3:45 in the morning here in Maui. So, you guys say I'm lazy and not dedicated. That's, people say this type of stuff about me, so I don't get it. But so be it, man. I'll chase you down and sue you. It's for lying. It's like, okay, whatever, man. Anyways, my first pick's going to be Stanford. Most people know I really have had little respect for Cal this season, but Spread Knowledge has Stanford as an A pick. The Spread Knowledge picks that I've been giving out on the show are 28, 18, and 1. That's not all of the Spread Knowledge picks, but what I do is I randomly pick out 2 games. Some of the games we've been able to give out 2 picks if there's a low money line on it. In this game, the money line is 429, and Spread Knowledge rates that an A-plus pick. Plus 420 or minus 429, just not in my wheelhouse. So we're just going to go with Stanford minus the 8 points in this one, and that is going to be my my first Spread Knowledge pick of the show. Of course, we're coming to at a special time today. We'll be back at our regular time tomorrow, and then the rest of the week, I should be able to announce the time the day before. But I just put a link in the comments on YouTube. I'm going to do the same on Facebook. As Chris, what are you looking at in college hoops? We're just going to have to do it this way because
that's fine.
We're going to have to try and cover a lot of ground here in a short amount of time.
Yeah, a couple like earlier games I was looking at. I really like Tulsa plus the 5.5, and I like them on the money line as well against UConn. Tulsa just playing way better basketball right now. They won 4 straight. UConn's lost 5 their last 6. I mean, just Tulsa's getting it done on both ends of the floor, so I like Tulsa here. And another one I was looking at, I like Minnesota plus the 3 against Michigan State. I know Michigan State's a very, very good team. And it's hard for me to think that they're going to drop back-to-back games, but it still is going back to that trend this year of Big Ten teams winning at home. And we saw Michigan State slip up against Indiana, and Minnesota's made the barn a tough place to play. So I'll take a shot with Minnesota getting the free bucket here.
I like Michigan State in that one. I just think that you get into late January, which I consider February at this point, and it's just a bad time to bet against Michigan State. I know laying 3 points on the road in the Big Ten has been death. I understand that. I can see where you're coming from, sort of. The Gophers, they just swept Ohio State, right? They beat them home and the road this season. But, man, the thing is that teams that can win on the road are generally teams that pass the ball well, rebound well, and hit free throws, and you're looking at one here, right? I mean, the one thing about like the best Michigan State teams, like the one they had 2 years ago, they usually have 2 or 3 guys that hit about 90% from the free throw line. So it comes down late in the game, and that's the problem with the number here. Like we kind of got screwed. Well, we didn't kind of get screwed. We got screwed on the number in the Oklahoma game yesterday, where the line inverted. Where in my video I won because I got him as a dog, and then on my other picks I lost, right? Because I had him as a favorite. And here's a game where it kind of like got all screwed up at the end, all wishy-washy. And the same thing with Alabama bricking free throw after free throw after free throw down the stretch. I mean, it just happens. So I just think that I like Michigan State at this time of year. I'm not ready to go against them in this type of situation. And this is probably the game where Tom Izzo, he's whining to the refs like they backed into his car at the Walmart parking lot before he even gets out of the locker room. He's just crying a river. It's like, So I don't know. I'm just going to disagree with you there. I definitely see the logic. And when I looked at spread knowledge this morning, it was one of those games where it's like, they could make a case for Michigan State against the spread, and it liked Michigan State against the spread, and it liked Minnesota money line. So it was one of those games where it was like, there's value on Minnesota on the money line here, not as much with the points, And I agree with the software there. So that's pretty much what it is. Steve, we got some other college hoops today. We got Oregon's back on the floor. We got Ohio State back against. I mean, how bad is this team going to slip? They've been falling for weeks now. Northwestern. You want to knock yourself from number 1 in the country to out of the tournament. You can go into Evanston and drop one. Anything out there in college hoops that you're looking at? Because, I mean, after yesterday's card, I mean, it's going to be a letdown no matter what. I mean, Baylor came out and lit it up. Austin Peay. I mean, what can you really say about the Governors? They left it on the court. Murray State was just tremendous yesterday.
We had Rutgers not covering, but they won. And
yeah, exactly. Like
Illinois, I had Illinois yesterday. I had Michigan. So, but I mean, San Diego State's back in action. They were undefeated, 20-0. I mean, it's only a 6.5 point spread against a 10-11 UNLV team. I love that. I think San Diego State, that's no problem there. Another good Big
Ten loves that too. They love San Diego State, and that's a team that we've been riding all season as well. We got on San Diego State early. I think, like any sport, though, and, it's the same thing in baseball and everything. It's like you look at these series, and, we start baseball in a month, so a little bit of a plug there. It starts like March 25th this year. So last year, remember all the weather games? Imagine what they're going to be like this year as they said, well, we didn't have enough games canceled. We'll just keep scooching it up a week. It's like, what are they doing?
We're going to try to set a new record.
I mean, with baseball, right? Here's my idea. Was my letter to Mr. Manfred, right? In the 2 months where you have front and center where there's nobody else playing, okay? Have 2 weekday games every single day. Have them in dome stadiums. Have them in places where they can't get rained out. Have it in the desert. Do whatever you need to do. 2 day games every day. One with a 12 to 1 o'clock Eastern time start, or 12:30 Eastern time, great. And then have the other one at a 3:30, 4 o'clock Eastern time start, even if they overlap. Show them on the MLB Network. Have MLB Network 2, if you need to, the auxiliary MLB Network. Show them on that and rev split it. Because weekday daytime sports is where it's at. And it's like, that's where they're going to make the money. There's only 3 or 4 days out of the week where there's not daytime baseball anyway, right? So Friday, unless the Cubs are home. If the Cubs are home on Friday, they always play at 2:20 Eastern. If they're not, then there's no day baseball on Friday. Generally, Monday and Tuesday, there's no day baseball. Sometimes there's day baseball on Wednesday. Thursday, there's always day baseball. So we're talking 3 games a week. So what this amounts to, since I dug deep here for our commissioner, since I didn't want to have to make him take out a pencil, it's 2 home games a season for every team that they would have to do this for their businessman special, right? It's like, in addition to any other weekday home games that they would have scheduled. But the revenue that would come through to baseball by drawing that extra interest to those daytime weekday games would probably put the sport back on the map. Also, end the season on Labor Day, man. Just end the whole thing. Have the World Series start Labor Day weekend. You'll go right into the opening weekend of the NFL and everything like that. But so what, man? Have those the travel days and stuff. You could mix it in Thursday night. You give the NFL their thing.
Knocking it down from 162 to 154 schedule, something like that, which is open.
And eliminate the 5-man rotation, man. It's like, let's whip this back in shape. It's like
that would take 10 years for them to even implement something like that.
The thing is,
it doesn't have to be that.
The thing is, I sent the letter 10 years ago, and I sent it 9 years ago. I've sent it so many times. I called his office, and they said he was going to get back to me. I'm still waiting for the call. But it's like, I don't understand. How hard is this? How hard is this? It's like, and anyone out there that bets on games, who are the people that watch daytime weekday sports, right? They'll say the same thing. Man, yeah, I watched the Twins Brewers at 12:30 on a Wednesday. Hell yeah. On a Tuesday? Hell yeah, man. Give me the A's. You think the A's have problems because there's in that stadium, in that market? Throw them on at 4 o'clock on a Monday against who cares, right? Who cares who they play? Play an interleague game even, right? Play the Rays, the A's and the Rays, right? Stick it on 4 o'clock on a Monday. See what happens. All of a sudden, you go from 8,000 people in the fans to like 50 million people watching it. All right, it's enough, man. I don't have that much time for this today. Steve, I cut you off. What else are you looking at?
But I love San Diego State here. Houston, South Florida. Houston's laying 12.5 points. I'll take Houston. Houston's been playing well. The other Big Ten good game is Maryland, Indiana. Indiana's home. They're laying 1.5 there. I've been betting Maryland, but they kind of disappoint me more often than not. The fact that the game is at Indiana, I'm going to take the Hoosiers at home.
I like the Hoosiers there too. I just think Maryland might be a good team for the tournament.
I agree with that.
The thing is, they lose here, they're going to drop to that 4-5 range, man. No one's going to want to play them.
No.
I think they're the type of team at a 4-5. They're going to be a tougher out than at 2. Which is where they could end up if they play. The Big Ten continues to crumble. If Michigan Michigan is in trouble now. The teams that were locks at the beginning of the season. I'm going to go to my second. I'll go to my second spread knowledge pick of the show. Actually, it's going to be 3 picks in 1, and here it is. It's everybody's favorite. The very, very popular Manhattan Jaspers. Got them here on the spread. -1 is a B+ rating. You got them on the money line. They're only minus 119, a B plus rating. And then here on the under 135.5, we got the A rating. So we got 3 picks here for spread knowledge. Of course, if you haven't taken advantage of spread knowledge, our show picks, which I've just randomly picked games. And if they're not, what I do is I go through them. If they're not a premium pick and they come up as I'm scrolling and it's an A plus or a B plus, and most of the picks on the show have been B plus, I select that as the game. We don't pick money line games that are more than 150 odds, so the Stanford game obviously didn't fit, but this Manhattan at 119 does fit. And whatever it is, we've done every sport. I've had hockey winners, money line dogs on this show. I've had everything. So it's 100% free, the trial. It's 7 days. I got some other news for you guys. If you haven't taken advantage of the trial, it's going to go to 3 days shortly. So you might as well jump on it now if it's something you've been thinking about. I don't know why you'd need to think about it because it's 100% free. It's going to go to 3 days, and it's because, of course, there's always people where a free 7-day trial and then something that costs like $1 a day plus 10% off using that coupon code Mitch isn't good enough for you. So you got to game the system and continue to sign up, for free trials. It's like, like a computer expert isn't going to be able to pick out that you're like trying to game the system? I mean, a guy that runs a software with 4,000 data points isn't going to figure out to use the same credit card twice? I mean, seriously, fellas. I mean, the whole idea is that this is a free trial that Charles has extended to us, and it's delivered. In addition to that, he gives 10% off using the Mitch code. I mean, I know he's spent over $1 million putting this software together. Anyways, Manhattan money line, the under, and Stanford are my 4 computer picks for today. Chris, NBA, what do you think?
The 2 games I was kind of looking at later in the day. I like Memphis laying the 3 against Phoenix. I still like the way Phoenix has been playing, even if they're getting a little bit healthier. I still think Memphis is the way better team. Getting with a low line sounds good to me. I also like Indiana getting a 1.5 and money line against Portland. Portland hasn't been kind to us lately, and Indiana's been playing some of their best basketball of the season. So I'll take.
Portland watched my videos. Is what happened. That's exactly what happened, man. I've been screaming all season. I'm like, how could this team not be trading away veteran players that they have that are valuable, Because they're not going to do anything with this team. They're not going to beat the Lakers. They're not going to beat the Clippers. They're not going to the finals. They could squeak into the playoffs as the 8th seed. They'll be gone in the sweep. It's like that was their best case scenario. Or you break it down and you build it back up, which is how you do it in the NBA. But so they did it. They traded Bazemore, and I wouldn't be surprised if by Tuesday someone else is gone. Could be a real key player too. Steve, you see anything here in the NBA? We got Zion Williamson still looking for his first W.
Yeah, I got 3. The Nets and the Knicks are playing. RJ Barrett's out for the Knicks. But the Nets are laying 1.5, so I'll take the Nets there. I know you're anti-Kyrie Irving.
I'm anti-Knicks Nets, man. That's what I am.
Don't even get
Make no mistake about it.
And then I'll take Toronto. Toronto is traveling to San Antonio.
People say how expensive it is to go to a game in New York. I wonder what the get-in price on this gem is.
Oh, God. Even if I had free tickets, I'm still not going. So how about that?
Yeah.
The level of basketball is
not even against football. Nothing, right?
No, nothing.
Is the Pro Bowl today or is it next week?
Yeah, it's today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where? See, I mean, I do this for a living. I don't even know when the game is.
The Senior Bowl was yesterday.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But the 3
Miami
NBA
players did well on defense, man. They did well.
Quarterback from Washington State had a good showing, Anthony Gordon.
Jalen Hurts looked lost.
3 games NBA real quick. I know we're up against the clock.
How about Shea Patterson running in the wrong direction? How about that? It's
that helped his draft status.
They're like, that's weird. Did you see the tackle pull out to create the space, and Shea Patterson's like, it's like, That doesn't make a lot of sense.
He's running
Strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses, lack of direction.
It was like, what are you doing? This looks like a Harbaugh drawn up play. Harbaugh's like got the whiteboard out.
Yeah, you look at him and he's like trying to figure out what's going on. He turns the whiteboard the other way. It was upside down.
That's Cronin. Mick Cronin. I'll see that tonight.
Well, we love Mick Cronin on this show.
Oh, man. Ever since that Nevada, actually before that Nevada game, but that Nevada game in the NCAA tournament, I mean, that left a mark. What were they up by, 48 points and lost? It was like, I think they were up by 38 points and lost. Cronin's got the whiteboard out. It's like, oh my God. The other team.
Whiteboard out. He's got the whiteboard out.
It's like,
he's not even drawing up.
It's like, you can read the guy's lips, the players. He's like, Cronin's got the whiteboard out. We got a chance.
He's drawing hangman, and everybody's got to guess the word during the timeout.
I was going to say, he's not even drawing up a play. He's marking down how many points they were up by, and he's erasing them as the timeout goes on.
How about Tennessee yesterday, man? They played hard against Kansas, right? I thought that they had a chance. They made a run. And Kentucky, against Texas Tech, putting the hammer down, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Cats are going to be tough. I mean, see, that's what you have to worry about Michigan State today. If you're on Minnesota, is that this is how the good teams play. That starting now, it's like they understand that where they fall into the NCAA tournament, these games now start to really count.
It's true. And Dayton didn't disappoint yesterday.
No, Dayton's a beast.
They are a beast.
They might end up seated a little too high in the tournament, and that might hurt them.
Yes.
I think they're a team that's better off being disrespected. Play with a little bit of attitude. Come in at a 5-6 seed.
Throw the chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, when they bludgeoned Ohio State a few years in the tournament, it was like the school's like not that far away, from Ohio State. And Ohio State, they never like to play the local schools that have a chance to beat them. So Dayton finally, after like ducking them for 20 years, they get a shot at them in the tournament. They just beat the crap out of them. It's like 20 years of frustration delivered in 40 minutes. In a meaningful game. It was like the last thing Ohio State wanted to see when they unveiled the bracket.
Yeah, right. But back to the NBA, I like the Raptors going to San Antonio, 2.5 points they're laying. And then the other game, I think the Zion will probably, it's a Sunday night game, Celtics, 6 o'clock start. Boy, I'll take the Pels plus 1.5. I can see, I'll take a flyer here that the Pels get a victory tonight.
I just don't like, we've seen this a lot this season where the guy comes back, or like in this case, the guy comes in and, the whole team loses chemistry. We saw it with the Raptors when Kyle Lowry came back. We saw it with the Suns when Ayton came back. We saw it with the Pelicans when Zion came back. But normally it's just a few games that happens. So we'll have to see how it plays out. And the next superstar to arrive on the scene will be Victor Oladipo on the 28th. And the Pacers have really played well without him. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I thought in the year that Oladipo was drafted that he had the most upside, that if there was a player in that draft that was going to be like Michael Jordan, it was going to be Victor Oladipo. And he hasn't quite reached that level, but I'll tell you what, he's really good.
Yeah, he's had a serviceable NBA career.
He's way more than serviceable. He is a superstar. If he doesn't go down last year, that team makes a run. And I think if he doesn't upset the chemistry of that team, no one's going to want to play the Pacers. Nobody. I mean, they're killing people without him. Though they're 1.5-point dogs at Rip City today. What the hell does that mean? I have no idea. But meanwhile, I like the Wizards a ton against the Hawks. I love betting against the Hawks. I just love it. It's just become one of my favorite sports within a sport. It's like Hawks. I just can't wrap my arms around it. It's like the same thing, like, why I don't play fantasy sports, It's like because I just could never allow, myself to root for a team that, gives up this many points per game. It's like they allow 117.5 points a game. They're not going to get it done.
No.
Not going to get it done. I mean, the Wizards know better, but the Wizards are a team that, I finally I'm on a heater with the Wizards right now. It's like after I couldn't buy a win with the Wizards. It was like they were like my Timberwolves of the last 2 years. Where it's like any Timberwolves game I pick for them or against them. It's just an automatic loss. All right, so Chris, let's recap quickly. Go ahead.
All right, the 2 college games I like today. I like Tulsa plus the 5.5 and the money line against UConn, and I like Minnesota plus the 3. Maybe take a shot on the money line against Michigan State. It's not a popular pick, but the other, let's go to the NBA. I like
not popular
Memphis
on
like,
this show at least.
Yeah. Well, it's 50%. I like Memphis laying the 3 against Phoenix, and I like Indiana plus 1.5 against Portland.
Steve?
College. I'm with you on Michigan State. I think Michigan State this
2-1,
time.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love San Diego State against UNLV. I think it's more than a reasonable spread there, so that's one of my favorites.
I like the way UNLV has been playing recently, though. I have to say that they've really, really improved in recent weeks. But it's not them. It's not.
Yeah, they're up there. They're a formidable foe today.
Yeah,
so.
It's kind of like Florida yesterday. It was like, it wasn't really Florida that we had a problem with. It was the opponent.
Yeah. Houston laying 12.5 against South Florida. I like that too. And I'll take Indiana at home against Maryland, 1.5. And I'll just go with the 2 NBA games I like. That's a kind of a flyer, that Celtic Pels. But I like the Nets at Madison Square Garden, only beating the Knicks by 1.5 points. And I'll take the Raptors laying 2.5 against the Spurs down in San Antonio.
All right, I did 2 spread knowledge picks, which ended up being 4 picks. Those of you that joined us late, we're just doing a special time. I have a flight in about an hour or so I just wanted to do a show today. I live in a place where Wi-Fi on planes and stuff like that doesn't happen. So, I don't even think you could do a live video on the plane anyway. But I didn't want to do it from the airport, so we're just doing the show early today. Tomorrow will be at its regular time, and then we'll announce the time of the show for the following 2 days. And then Thursday is going to be a super early show again. And that one might just be me. It might be with the Puck Dogs. But tomorrow we'll be back at our regular time with the Puck Dogs. The 2 days after that, we'll have to figure out the times. And then as we go, and then Thursday. So just this week is off, and then Friday, all back to normal again. And then at the end of the month, we'll have a similar situation, and we'll figure that out as I go to San Diego that time. But my picks for today, I took Stanford. I used the spread knowledge, -8. You can see it's an A plus. It's an A pick from spread knowledge. Our record in spread knowledge for our show picks is 28, 18, and 1. You can use the link that I put in the comments and description, both on YouTube and on Facebook, to get a 7-day free trial. And then once your 7-day free trial is up, using that coupon code Mitch that you signed up with, it's going to give you an automatic 10% off on top of it. If you're someone that's been gaming the system, getting free weeks or whatever, we're going to start pointing you out to everybody. So knock it off. Kind of ruining my reputation by doing that because I got this special deal for everybody, and then you guys make me look bad. Bullshit. Of course, please hit the thumbs up. We got 104 people watching us on YouTube and 21 thumbs up. That's pathetic. I'm not afraid to call you guys out on it. I don't ask for much except for a stupid thumbs up in case you guys got a half a second. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning because I'm traveling to do a show with you guys. I think a thumbs up isn't too much to ask. I'm gonna Izzo it here, man. I'm just gonna start begging. I'm gonna beg for the call. Okay. I get asked who's the best quarterback in the NFL? The one that cries the loudest, man. The one that's working the refs in the pregame warm-up. Watch this guy. Watch this guy. Watch this guy does this. That's always the best quarterback.
Sure.
You know, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna please. Izzo, it's like, I mean, it's like as he's gotten older, his eyes have like dropped from all the tears that have come down and just welled into this area. It's an amazing thing.
The river of tears.
I mean, and the thing is, he doesn't need to do that. He's a great coach. I mean, he teaches the fundamentals like John Wooden teaches the fundamentals. Really, he's in that discussion. Obviously, not in titles or anything like that. And it was a different game. You know, Wooden's players all stayed for 4 years. You know, if these coaches, if their players all stayed for 4 years, it'd be interesting to see what kind of teams they could put together. But you know, John Wooden started, you know, every annual practice by putting on your socks. It's like that is a true story. This is how you put on socks. This is how you lace up your shoes on our team. This is how it's done every year. Yep. But anyways, same old grumpy Mitch. Yeah. When you get up at 3:30 in the morning to do a show, and when you do 30 YouTube videos a day, see how you are when 24 people hit a thumbs up when there's 102 people watching. Yeah, let's see what you do. All right.
You should follow Coach Wooden. This is how you hit a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's really not that difficult. If you have your own opinion, of course, you can put it in our Facebook group. So you hit the thumbs down, creep. Yep. Anyways, I took Stanford with spread knowledge, and then I took the Manhattan Jaspers. You can see they're a B+ here with the spread, a B+ on the money line, and an A on the under. So we got 3 picks there: under, Manhattan money line, and then we also gave out Stanford. So it's 4 spread knowledge picks for today. Thank you guys for joining me at this special time. I'll be back tomorrow at the regular time. We'll have Rod and Chris. They'll be all laced up and ready to go to drop the puck as the NHL gets back in action tomorrow. This week is probably going to be funky times. We'll have to work it out together. My guess is we'll probably be an hour earlier on Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. We'll have to figure that out. And then on Thursday, it's going to be a disaster. I have no idea because my flight, once again, is 6:30 in the morning, but it's out of Vegas. So I don't even know what time that is. We'll figure it out then.
9:30.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, 9:30 is your flight.
So. Chris, I was just making a statement there. We weren't looking for.
I'm trying to help.
You know, it's like
I'm Canadian. That's what we do. We try to help everybody.
They don't have sports bet books up in Canada, for Christ's sake.
I'm taking I'm taking your pick dog's hat. I'm putting it back in the studio.
All right, I'm done. See you later.
All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Have a safe flight, Mitch.
Have a safe flight.
Stay fresh. Enjoy Vegas, boys.
Oh, thank you. See ya.